This episode's brought to you by the Public Domain Shop, a clothing brand inspired by classic literature and film. Use the code Wolff to get 10% off your next sweatshirt purchase.
As soon as the credits started rolling for this movie, we were so exasperated. Which reminds me, Grandma, if you're watching this, this is not the video for you. I'm about to break a commandment for the second time in a row, because that is just the biblical impact this movie had on me. When the credits started rolling, we were so exhausted and freaked the fuck out. I never do this. I actually shouted out loud, Jesus fucking Christ! My God! This movie, when it says it's the scariest one you'll ever hear, they are not fucking kidding. Like, this movie hasn't fucked me up this much since Skinamarink, which, if you watched it, and if you watched Skinamarink and you thought this is boring, which makes total sense, I'm not gonna act like I know get where you're coming from, brace yourself for this shit. Like, just... Holy fucking hell. Do not consider this a review so much as an explanation for the emotional roller coaster that is Undertone. And I mean that in the sense that the first act is basically the entry to the roller coaster where it's fun, but not a ton has happened. The second act being like the actual first drop where you're just thinking, shit is really going down. And then the entire third act is loop-de-loop after loop-de-loop after loop-de-loop until you just can't fucking take it anymore. And I mean that in the best possible way. This is... I'm just gonna say it, based on the ending alone, this is one of the scariest movies I've ever seen, let alone heard. But what did you think, Noah?
Forget fucking loop-de-loops. The end of this movie is fucking, like, roller coaster tycoon sending you off into the abyss. Like, it's murdering everyone on the roller coaster. That's the end of this movie.
Quite literally, in some circumstances. For context, if you seriously don't know anything about this, which honestly, I went into this so cold that I didn't even watch the trailer, even though he sent it to me.
Okay, so the only trailer I watched was like the very first teaser trailer that was literally just the blah blah black sheep backwards and then the occasional I'm praying for you line, and that was it. This was A24 cold dropped this just one day. I saw in my inbox, I was like, huh, what does it say of like, it wants to be heard? I don't know, so I ignored it. I genuinely ignored it in my inbox. Then about like an hour or two later, I was like, huh, what was that notification again? So I went, I opened the video, I sat down, I watched it. 2 minutes of just that. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there, no fucking, like, there's no description to the movie, it's just the title and then the thing. I'm thinking, what the fuck is this movie? What? A24, what? What? And so, I get through it, and I start reading the comments, I'm like, okay, sure. Just, my favorite comment just, understood, have a nice day.
Seriously?
That was my, it's just the one top comment was just, understood, have a nice day.
Okay.
it's the most fucking, oh god. And so I sent it to Tyler, I was like, this is how you fucking market a movie. Don't show anything, just this, do the neon approach. This is the good way. And so I after that, I was like, okay, because then you told me it was the Undertones, because you did some digging. And so I just never watched the trailer, I never watched any other teaser trailers, whatever. I saw them kept popping up in my inbox, the reverse text title, including a reverse question mark, which is very funny. Anyways, I just never watched any. And so the only thing I know about this movie is the 2 minute teaser just of Baba Black Sheep backwards with the occasional I'm praying for you line also backwards. And then I get here, right? We get here. First of all, I'm so fucking hyped for this movie. I'm so terrified, but I'm so hyped. Then we get here. We sit down. Right, okay, yeah. We start watching, and it takes a while, and I'm like, okay, you know, I like slow movies. I could stick with it. Whatever. It's got some intrigue. And then we have the first shot where I start to go, oh, it's this kind of movie. The movie that I hate watching. Cause it's...
Wait, what?
No, but like in a good way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, cause there's this one shot where it's like in the hallway, the right third of the frame is her, but the rest is just empty black space of like the stairs, but also like the part underneath the stairs.
Oh, we'll get to that.
I know, but just that shot, and they stick with those kinds of shots so much throughout the entire movie, but
they
especially,
do.
like, oh, I hate it, but I love it, but I hate it. But like, that's what gets me. That's what fucking gets me. And so I was just constantly, I kept, every time that those, like, occasionally they'd cut up to a close-up, and I was like, okay, fine, whatever. But it's those shots where it's just so much emptiness in the dark. I was just sighing. Like, I was, like, in the theater, not, like, too loud. I was just like, oh.
He did do that once or twice. There was one moment where a light turned on and someone was slowly creeping up. I couldn't tell if he was unintentionally laughing or if he was legitimately on the edge.
Anytime I laughed during this fucking movie, because I laughed a couple times, but it was all just like anxious laughing. Because I do that. I angry laugh, I anxious laugh, I laugh. This was anxious laughter. And also slight angry laughter at the movie because of what they were doing. But like, I love it.
So anyways, the plot of Undertone is there's this girl who has kind of sort of moved back into her childhood home because her mom has been let go from a hospice. She's unfortunately just hanging by a thread as it is. And in order to keep her sanity, allegedly, she is on a semi-popular paranormal podcast where she is basically Mulder and her cohort is Scully in a way. It's basically that kind of format.
Don't fuck with the supernatural. I don't care if it's fictional. Don't fuck with the supernatural. I don't care that this is a movie and it's fake. Don't fuck with the supernatural. Please? Please. Just people stop doing that. It's too scary. Please.
So anyways, they're anonymous. Take a shot every time this happens. Shit, we're 7.5 minutes in and we're just getting into this now. That's this kind of movie, guys. Like, get used to it. Anyways, they anonymously receive these audio files that purport to be a paranormal activity style couple who are experiencing what sound like some fucked up shit, even for an indie horror movie, because we'll get into this later. The subject matter in this is fucked up and gnarly. Like, it takes a lot to unnerve me. It takes a lot to disturb me. This did it in spades, but the more they listen to these recordings as the days go by, the stranger occurrences that begin happening in this girl's house that make her so... The Blair Witch is taking over Noah at the moment. The more these... Yeah, that's perfect. That's so much better. Okay, you can stop now. I said stop. Noah, I will stop this review and start all over again. Fine, you're on your own. The stranger occurrences begin happening in her home that make her realize this is connected to her very troubled and conflicting views towards religion and her mother. And that's all I'm going to say there. I don't know what else we can say at this point other than the main draw for this movie is the sound design, but the director, whose name escapes me at the moment because, again, roller coaster, isn't it like Ian Tuason or something like that? He finds so many simple but effective ways for the cinematography to keep this as audiovisual as possible, because there are a lot of standard tricks that build up agoraphobia and claustrophobia and just a sense of isolation, like the long shots. There are so many times where she's all alone in the kitchen recording the podcast, and then suddenly the camera will just pan over to the left, pan over to the right, or just show her in the dead center where, like Noah said, there's a lot of empty space in between the frame or she's right on the cusp. There's a really good zoom in where she actually gets cut off by the aspect ratio, which was slowly revealing how she's starting to become more convinced of the supernatural without losing any of her persona. She still stays in denial. If anything, she slips even further, which just amplifies how good of a performance the lead actress is. I love that in between this and Iron Lung, Dutch angles are suddenly making a comeback.
Thank God. Okay. First of all, I just need to say, cinematography in this movie, fucking fantastic. Oh my God.
I would love... It's not going to get nominated for cinematography next year, but
Boy.
it'll get nominated for sound mixing. I can fucking guarantee that.
It genuinely, like, yeah, I wouldn't say the movie entirely is Oscar-worthy. Like, I do think, like, the one part where it really falters is some of the acting. We'll get to that. But besides that, the fucking cinematography and the sound design, I cannot think of a single fucking movie that has utilized it, genuinely utilized them better to the story's, like, you get what I'm trying to say, right? Like,
yeah, to the point where there are times where what we're hearing exclusively from the podcast is going in one ear, and what's happening inside the house, if that is what's going on, is coming through the other. It's simple tricks that a lot of movies don't do, and I'm really hoping that with the success of films like this, independent filmmakers, let alone big-budget studios, will start to take more of an advantage to that. I really love how the mirrors in this do a lot of frame within a frames. Noah, oh, sorry, I lost track because Noah is really surprised that this cost $500,000
that's it?
US.
Okay, you could tell that it's a low-budget movie, obviously, because, like, they utilize it the best way, because it's all, like, the one location. They never leave that location. It's one location, one house. So, yeah, but they utilize the low budget very, very effectively. All of the other characters, besides the two, are just voiceover. Even the characters even that one character who is in the house, like that nurse,
Yeah.
she's not seen, she's not shown. That's smart. Like, and the whole thing takes place in that one house. So that's how you do low budget fucking shit. This, like, how was this only made for $500,000 USD? It feels like it at least $1 million. Like, this is such, like, yes, it's low budget, but it's, like, so refined.
I'm willing to bet a good chunk of this budget went into the ending, because without spoiling anything, there was a lot of production value in what goes into the set design, the lighting, the practicals. I wouldn't say stunt work, more special effects, because there's a long take-ish that reveals a lot about the house, and it does something that in a lot of movies is so gimmicky, where the lights keep flickering on and off, but it plays with the perspective in a sense where even if you know it's just a chair in the background, because there are a lot of times where the actor is the only one in focus and everything is just blurry, even if you know it's just a lamp or a chair, your eyes are looking back and forth between that and the actors, because you are anticipating a jump of some sort. And even when a character is just standing still in the background with that ominous flickering lights, you're expecting them to jump out. And I will say this, that one scream in the finale was maybe one of, if not the best jump scares ever. It's just... Not to mention, it has something that you also don't see in a lot of horror movies these days, where when a character is running towards... When a villain is running towards the hero, it walks backwards instead of forward.
So good.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, it's because the reverse, right? It's the rewind. It's the played in reverse thing. Yes.
Why is that blanking on me?
Yes, it's so good. Okay, I'm a whore for one takes. Like, genuinely, one shots in movies. Fucking love them. This movie, as soon as I saw that they were doing the one take and, like, they did that first, like, half lap around the house, I'm not sure if you felt, but I went, like, genuinely, like, fuck yeah. But, like, just quietly, like, ugh.
Were you covering your mouth at that point? Or
No. So it was...
Because I did hear you do something.
Yeah, no, I was just like, oh. Like, it was just like a little, oh. Just because I love one takes in movies, and I was not expecting this film to do it. But it did it. And it did it so good. Like, literally, when... Can I spoil a tiny bit? Like, very minor.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so during this one take, right, they go to the kitchen, and the fucking, like, they have, like, the paranormal activity, you know, all the drawers and pantry, whatever, swing open. That's, first of all, very cool, because we see it all in that one take. But also, the chairs in the kitchen are on the ceiling, and that's when I was like, yeah, because, like, oh.
That literally is from Skinamarink, too. In fact, speaking of children's songs, why the fuck wasn't Skinamarink in this? Like, Sharon Lois and Bram are not the only ones who sang this. Like, I know it's not a nursery rhyme, technically, but it is a public domain song.
Both Canadian. Both Canadian.
Both Canadian debut horror movies.
And both very, like, similar-ish vibes.
Which reminds me, Kyle Edward Ball is making another movie.
Oh, the Skinamarink guy?
Yeah, it's called Land of Nod. It's about a town in the territories that's caught in a snowstorm. So, like, he's sticking to his roots, and it's an A24 movie, too.
They got more! Yeah!
Canadians are taking over indie... They will take over... They will take over indie cinema. You can bet your ass. Matt Johnson was right. Canadian cinema is making a comeback.
Absolutely. Oh my god. Oh, I love Canadians. I love you little fucking freaks. I say as a Canadian.
Yeah. And you know what? It's a one take that doesn't even call attention to itself. Because, like, it kind of just is one camera angle throughout the entire thing, but it's the reveal of the lighting, the walls. That's all I'm going to say about the walls. The mirror reflection, because for starters, it does the medicine cabinet mirror without something popping out, which...
They only had one mirror scare in the entire fucking movie.
Wait, they did?
Only the, I guess, kind of reveal scare.
Like the finale? Oh, I
that's,
don't really count that.
That's fair. But I was, every time I saw the fucking mirror, I was like, don't you fuck. They didn't do it. And then the time that they did do it, it wasn't like a scare. It was over the course of the same pretty still shot, it slowly reveals and you're like, oh. And I think we both clicked seeing it at different times, because
Yeah, we did.
Because I saw it and I was like, oh, and that's, I think, when I covered my mouth a bit. And then I heard you, like, after a tiny bit when she was, like, standing up, just your reaction.
I never do that, man.
I know. This movie did something to us.
I'm sweating as much as I did in the sauna before I got here. And we're standing right above a heater in this corridor, which is not a good sign. I'm going to need another bottle of water once we're done this. I think all there really is to talk about is the fact that there are only 2 actors in this.
Yes.
The lead actress is really good.
Yes.
In parts, like, there are times where she doesn't have to do as much. But Nina Kiri has a lot of difficult scenes to pull off. Namely the fact that I don't know if the actors were on set as they were filming, or that the director was just feeding her lines, or if they've pre-recorded the voices and she was interacting off of them. Like, I don't know for sure. All I can say is, it genuinely feels like she's on the phone with these people as they're conversing. And while there are some times where her line delivery is a little awkward as she's trying to hold up her Scully facade...
I wouldn't even say, to me it was when she was, like, some of the times when she was talking to her, mama, that it just felt off, and not in, like, it's just...
There's a lot of whispering.
Yes, it's just, like, some of the acting, it just didn't feel, I didn't feel the emotion.
Was it how wide-eyed she is?
I don't know.
Because, like, I'll be the first to admit that she kind of looks like Rachel Zegler in Snow White, right down to the Lord Farquaad hair. Much better performance. I'm willing to bet is a much better person and actress.
I do need to say, for even though I'm saying, like, right now that I found that sometimes during those, like, more emotional scenes, she wasn't really able, like, it kind of took me out of it a bit. Besides that, when she is acting terrified, like the girl in Shelby Oaks, like that actress.
Yeah.
They're like, she fucking nails the terrified look, the just the shaking, the breathing,
the ugly cry.
Like, this actor can act when it comes to that. Like, some of the line deliveries, I didn't buy, but the non-verbal emotion, that's what I bought.
Which there's a lot of going around these days. I really appreciate that, because there are so many. I love that the high school girls are staring at us, just like, it's been 20 minutes, why are they still here? Like, the movie fucked us up, and not like that. Sorry, like, 3 of them are blonde, I can't help it. You know what, I shouldn't be telling you that, but... It doesn't help that, like, some of the dialogue is, like, quote-unquote awkward small talk where they repeat a lot of lines, or just... They don't even try debating with each other when things get tense. Like, one of them presses harder on a certain subject, and they just go, okay, fine. And I'm just sitting there going, you are really docile friends towards each other. Like, and plus there's that one... The first 10 minutes has some pretty clunky exposition as to who these characters are, like... Who's, like, not contributing to taking care of the mom and such like that. I'm assuming they were talking about the boyfriend who was in that one conversation, and typical for horror movies is just a complete dunce. Like, is Lights Out the only horror movie where there's a smart boyfriend? Like, come on. We can do better than that. But, the voice actors, it goes without saying, are, like, the major highlight. The big standouts in particular, although... We should give credit to the mom, because she doesn't technically talk on screen, but, like, it's kind of like the dad from Michèle Duquet. Hopefully I said that right. It's kind of like the dad from Pearl, where neither of those characters say anything, and she has to do the opposite of the Pearl dad. The Pearl dad had to be really melodramatic in his facial expressions. She has to be extremely minimal to show just how weakened she is in body, but how possibly sinister she is in spirit, which is a unique change of pace. But the voice actors in this one, Keana Bastidas, again, hopefully I said that right, Jeff Young as the couple who are basically Mika and Katie from the Paranormal Activity movies, except interesting. Yeah. Well, be honest. Like, Mika's an idiot, Katie... Was Katie even scary?
No.
Okay.
Question. Is Justin her brother? Or is it just, like, a really close friend? That I'm still not entirely sure about.
Well, when they say it's been, like, 5 years, like, siblings don't stay away that long.
He gives, like, their relationship gave very much he was the younger brother energy. That's what it gave to me.
I don't know, like, the weaknesses of hers that he knows about, like, any friend could understand or have, like, contributed in the past. It just doesn't make sense for him to not be there. Like, the movie would be a much different story and style if it was, like, the two of them taking care of the mom and they were fighting and they were doing the podcast in the kitchen. Like, it would have been just as interesting, don't get me wrong, but it would have been a much more interesting... It would have been a more interesting dynamic, but the movie's so good on its own that it doesn't really matter, because you can read between the lines, like, how close of friends these guys are, how they can venomously disagree on one particular subject and still thrive as a friendship. It's probably what does thrive on a friendship, the fact that they're, like, so passionate towards the subject. But the couple who are going through this shit, and the final caller in the podcast who has to switch personalities in an instant, and might have been, like, the most terrifying performance in the entire movie, because her tone is the exact same, but Sarah Bowden, fantastic voiceover work. Like, you went from helpless to fucking demonic so fucking well, to the point where I'm... Okay, good, I'm not sweating for my pants. That's, Fuck, I'm gonna need 2 bottles of water when we're done with this.
I also need to point out that this movie, including voice actors, only had 14 cast.
True,
yeah. Having such just a small, like, that's what I love that this movie did. It took this premise that could have gone bigger, like Shelby Oaks, but it chose, instead of Shelby Oaks, to keep it small, keep it in that one spot, and just, they don't show or do anything more than they need to. It's like a radio drama. You don't need, you don't need the visuals if, like, the audio is compensating for that. It's the same. Like,
we have gone 25 minutes without pointing out that, like, the sound effects and like the stuff they imply is enough for you to imagine in your head what the fuck's going on. Especially this pounding sound effect involving a bag that I don't know if you saw the reflection of Noah like putting his head against the glass, but it's that demented, and it's something that you can only do with audio and not visual, because no fucking direct. Well, I guess technically South Park did that, but like it was a joke and no one died. You could only do this in like an animated dark comedy. You can't do this in a live action horror or thriller.
Scary movie.
I said.
Thriller. Yeah. My brain is on.
The only thing scary about those is that they're still going.
I'm actually. Well, no, they stopped, and now they're coming back. I'm actually really excited for Scary Movie 6. It actually looks really good.
Didn't we see the same trailer? Because I watched it with the sound, and I'm just sitting there going, the Wayans have learned nothing.
It gives very much OG Scary Movie, because it's the people who worked on the first.
Yeah, but let's be honest, there are things about the OG Scary Movies that aren't funny anymore.
Well, yeah, but
Like, Scary Movie 2 is unbearable. Like, it's just gross out shit for no reason.
That's fair.
Like, if it's just Scary Movie 1 that we're talking about, maybe.
It gave Scary Movie, like, the
Like, the Megan transitioning into Ghostface. Maybe it's just how cheap the costumes were that just made me think, you guys are just fucking lowest of low, but...
I think that was intentional, right? Because, like...
It probably was, but...
They
well,
were recreating the Scream 6 subway.
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the Scream 6 reference. I mean, how can you not? But, to your point about what this did and how... It made me realize how Canadian horror movies, the ones that always break free of the mold, are the ones like Skinamarink, or the movies by Matt Johnson. Because, I mean, when Matt Johnson made something like The Dirties, it was like $10,000, and another $45,000 for, like, the copyrighted songs. Canadian movies that get famous are the ones that have rules and restrictions, and they use it to their advantage. Which is something that we really got to take stock in, because I'm in the course of trying to animate a short film, and my resources are as low as you could possibly get, and movies like this are giving me a lot of hope. And I was just at Kiki's Delivery Service this afternoon, which is a movie about having creativity and doing what you love, which also gave me a little bit of inspiration, and also acknowledgement that I'm going to, like, slow down and get burnt out at one point.
Today I also watched the short film Portrait of God on YouTube, which Jordan Peele and Sam Raimi are...
I just saw a podcast about that guy winning an Oscar.
Winning an Oscar?
God of Love, is that a black and white one?
Oh, no, Portrait of God.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was a horror short film on YouTube. It did get picked up. Sam Raimi and Jordan Peele are producing a feature.
Okay. Because showing horror shorts in front of horror movies is apparently too difficult. Just saying, like, bring shorts back into theaters. People watch them.
Yeah, but it's, first of all, fucking phenomenal. But I was also, after I watched it, the behind the scenes, it was the filmmaker and director was saying how, you know, he'd made horror shorts for a while now, and the key thing that he got from it was use what you have. In that short, what he had was a dark room with black curtains, a projector, and a screen. And so he went, okay, with that, how can I make this into a horror short? And so he did it. This film, any low-budget films, or micro-budget, zero-budget films, that's what you do. You use what you have. If you're trying to make a film and you don't have $1 million, no one has $1 million except Markiplier or any other famous YouTuber.
And even then he had to cut corners.
And even then he had to cut corners. Like, use what you have. If you have anything, use it. But work around what you have. Design around what you have access to. If you don't have a big-ass fucking warehouse studio, make it a bottle film like this one. They could have gone bigger. They could have, like, she went to a different house at one point. She went to, there could have been her going to the doctor or
the
whatever.
library.
The library could have gone to whatever. Doesn't fucking matter. You don't need that. You can just all have it at this one house in mainly these 2 rooms and hallway.
And again, like, Skinamarink had that one house that guy grew up in.
Yeah, use what you have. Make these films with what you have. It doesn't need so much money to be good. Look at Skinamarink. Look at this movie. If you are passionate enough, you can make something phenomenal.
I only have paper, pencil, crayons, and a camera, but this gives me a fuck ton more confidence as a future filmmaker of shorts. Because I don't really have any feature ideas yet, like that day will come, but... And this... Fucking hell, like... I'm never gonna have an experience... I'm not gonna have an experience like this in a long-ass time, man. Like, this is hands down, like, maybe not top 10, but, like, at least top 20 scariest movies I've seen just for the ending alone. And you all gotta see it.
Yes.
Josh and I will do a spoiler video of this at some point. It'll at least be, like, Josh and I.
Yeah. I might be out of town. But, watch this movie in theaters if you get the chance. If you don't, watch it with headphones.
Yes. It may not be as good, but it will fuck you up regardless.
In the dark with headphones. Like, I don't care if you're too
That's
fucking
how
scared.
honestly, the short that inspired Skinamarink Heck, that's how I watched that.
You're crazy. I could never do that.
And I was alone in the house. That was even worse.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
So, if you're like me and can't physically do that, I beg you, try. Please. Like,
You have the willpower.
oh god, I couldn't do it.
You didn't run out of the theater during this.
Yeah, it's because I wasn't alone. If I was alone, fuck no.
Which I just want to say, it's Friday the 13th before March break. Yes. Fucking packed theater.
Oh my god, yeah.
And one girl seriously said as she got up, I'm not going to be able to sleep alone.
Oh, fuck.
You know what? You're not as dumb as I did when I as soon as I walked out of Skinamarink, I put on like the first ever Sharon Lois and Bram recording of Skinamarink. Which is sad because it's a guitar and it's Sharon and Lois singing so softly.
Okay, sorry, question. The shot that we were talking about earlier, this is a spoiler, so feel free to cut this out.
No.
But the shot that we were talking about earlier, where it's like the zoom in and then it crops her out, but like focuses on the doorway, right? But like it
Yeah.
keeps zooming in. Was that the mother like curled up in like a Rubik's Cube on the floor? Because like it looked like something was there and it looked like it was folded up.
I didn't see it. I wouldn't know. Like,
Okay.
I'll have to... When Josh and I talk about it, I'll have to...
Just look there. When that shot, it looks like you can kind of see like arms folded. It looks like a cube, but like of a person.
Possibly. I mean, one thing I'm definitely looking forward to is to see if, like, half the shit that they, like, listen to, I didn't hear what the characters did. I'm hoping a repeat viewing will fix that. One can only hope. But if in any case, guys, I don't know how you're still watching, but thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below what you think of Undertone. Thank you so much for joining me on this. This was worth sneaking in an early birthday present of movie theater snack. Can't fucking see in the camera. Movie theater snacks in the camera. Movie theater snacks that I had to sneak in twice because, again, double feature. I don't know what else is going to top it this weekend other than turning 30, but we'll see how that goes. Let us know in the comments below what you think of the movie, among other things. Be sure to like, subscribe, check out other reviews. I need water. Bye.